Okay, so as I mentioned, so a lot of people identified with the experiences. So it came with a lot of likes. People were liking, people were commenting. And this was not just Ghana. It was people from other African countries. And so having been a member of ISEC, which was a youth organization on campus focused on making impact, I saw the opportunity in there. And then growing up, I said I wanted to be a president because I wanted to make impact in people's lives. And so when I saw how people reacted to it and how it became for me. So now I moved from having a very stressful commute to work and back home, especially back home because I had to take like 3 or 4 trotros from Circle to some other point to another point. It was very stressful. And so when I saw the impact that was having on me personally, how it transformed from being a pain to me looking forward to my Trotro trip, I realized what it could do for other people. And then based on feedback from a couple of friends and all that, we created the Trotro Diaries group. And I mean, it's been an amazing experience. And so from 2011 to 2017, it grew from myself to 30,000 people. And that's also one thing that when we are building some of these dreams or whatever that we have, sometimes it takes time. But once it gets to that peak point, it will just pick up. So as I mentioned, from 2011 to 2017, January, we moved from myself to 30,000 people. But from January 2017 to December 2017, it just picked up. And then we went from 30,000 to 220,000 people. What was happening in there? People were just sharing experiences. But because we created a unique experience for people, they liked it and then they added family and friends. And so for each one of us, if we're building some of these things, that is also one thing that I would like to share is the fact that we need to create unique experiences for people. In the beginning, people were like, oh, boost it and all that. I don't even know if there's any way to boost groups. But people were so focused on boosting numbers and all that. But I realized that if you wanted to build this, let it grow organically. Because when people like it, they will tell other people about it. And then these other people will tell other people about it. And that's word of mouth. It's more powerful. So anybody that comes on there cares more about your community than you just boost and then people like it and then they move on. And so Trotro Diaries quickly became a platform for commuters and travelers to share their experiences. And for a lot of people, it was a place where they could just come and then just take some time off. From that point to now, we've grown beyond that. So now Trotro Diaries, as I mentioned, is a transport startup. And our vision is to improve the commuting experiences for people across Africa. So what do I mean by that, or what does that entail? What that entails is that we're still doing content where people share these experiences and connect around these experiences. But beyond that, we sat down and said, okay, if we want to improve the experience for people, how can we do this beyond the content? And then we saw that, every now and then people need to move from this point to that point. There's Google Maps that's very good for if you have your own car or a taxi where you can tell the driver, go left or go right. But for things like Trotros, where over 60% of the population are using, you don't have that. So how can we help with that? Okay, we have a whole community with a lot of amazing people. So we can help with that. And so people can come on to Trotro Diaries. Guys, I need to get to this point. How do I get there? What is the fare? And then people in the community can respond to you and help you with that. And then beyond that, we started looking at, okay, what if we could do something about the transportation itself? And so what we started doing is that we started partnering with people that own these cars and then the transport services, so that people don't just get to complain about the experiences they're having on Trotro Diaries, but we can help to improve it by partnering with the people that are offering the services. And so people can come on Trotro Diaries and then maybe book a bus for their group trip. So we're a church, we're all student association, we're going for a trip, excursion or funeral, whatever. You come on Trotro Diaries, you're able to book a bus on the service. Beyond that, what we are looking at doing is making it possible for people to book Trotros. So you don't have to now go and struggle and fight for these Trotros and all that. So this is what Trotro Diaries has become now. But the truth of the matter is that I didn't have this in mind in October 2011. All I wanted to do was share something with people, give people an opportunity or put a smile on people's faces. And so in the very beginning, that's what it was, that if somebody came onto Trotro Diaries for just 12 seconds, we wanted them to have an experience that would be unique, that would make an impact in their day. That is where we started from. And sitting down now, looking at where we have been, CNN coming all the way to Ghana to interview us. Facebook last year did a whole documentary on Trotro Diaries. I mean, how many people using Facebook have had that opportunity? And so it makes you see that there's a lot of things that are around us. A lot of times in Africa, we feel that we are disadvantaged and all that. Yeah, there are a couple of things that might put us at a disadvantage. But also what I've come to realize is that there's power in our pocket. That is where we put our phones. There's a lot of power in those phones. When you do some research, they say the old computers that we had, there's this rumor, I don't know how true it is, that the computer that was used to launch the space rocket onto the moon or whatever, some of these phones that we have are powerful than these computers. And so what I like people to take from this talk is the fact that as long as you have a smartphone, you have so much power in your pocket. Because if you have something that's more powerful than the computer or whatever that was used to launch people into space, I don't know how true that is, but think about the old computers and all that, what people have been able to use these computers for. If you have something that is so powerful in your pocket, imagine the things that you can do with that. Then the last thing that I want to share. So the first thing I wanted you to remember was Trotro Diaries. The second thing was the power in your pocket. The last thing, which is the third thing, is an opportunity mindset. So there's this amazing thing that happened last month for us in Trotro Diaries. We got some awesome business from a company, very big company, organization in Ghana. And I'd been going to that same company for a very long time. But anytime I went there, I went to see a friend. I went with a friend mindset. But on this particular day, or when I was ending last year, I said, no, this year I was going to start with a bigger opportunity mindset. So I went to that very same place that I had been going so many times last year. I went there with an opportunity mindset, saw a book, picked the book, read something, and then I just had an idea. I suggested it to my friend. She said, oh, her boss was not so much into social media. I said, don't worry, just present it to him. Out of that, we got the biggest business in 1 month so far. And so, looking at the mobile phones we have, the power that we have in our pockets, I want everybody that would get to watch this video to think about it that, okay, if these mobile phones that we have are so powerful, social media is also so powerful. The number of people on social media, Facebook alone, is more than any TV station or radio station could think about. And so these are the opportunities that we have lying around us. In spite of the hunger, in spite of everything that's going on around us. And I know when the hunger is happening, it can be so difficult. I've been there. There was this time when, the very early days of Trotro Diaries, where I was working with some company and the finances were not so good. Charlie, I remember I got back from work one day and I hadn't been to the gym. But when I was undressing, Charlie, I had gotten 6 packs by force. Because there was so much hunger. Like, Charlie, you go to work and then you buy tea bread with granola paste, 1 CD, you eat it and that's all for the day. Like, the week is starting, you have just 5 CDs. Trust me, there are a lot of people that have been in this situation that a lot of us might find ourselves in. But people have been able to move from that point to a point now where they have a lot of resources. I believe for you to be able to do that, I believe in God. But God has already given us the opportunity to do some of these things. And so for things to change for us, we need to switch to that opportunity mindset where anything and everything around you is a resource. Anything and everything around you can turn your life. So you have your mobile phone. You have social media. That is customers. You have life and breath. That is all you need. Let us begin to change our mindsets and think about these things in a different way. There's somebody around you that could probably be a customer or could introduce you to an opportunity. This is what I want young Africans to begin to think, that our mobile phones are not just for social media. They're not just for posting. If your phone is just taking money from you, you have to use money to buy phone. You have to use money to buy data. I'm sorry you are losing out. Because that same phone can bring you money. And for me, it has brought my dream of being able to make impact in society alive. We're impacting 360,000 people. We've worked with AMA on road safety. We've done stuff on sanitation. And there's a whole lot of stuff that is happening. And so, as I bring this presentation to a close, remember that the social media platform that you have, the mobile phone that you have in your pocket, it is power in your pocket. And remember to have an opportunity mindset because there's so many things around you. Thank you very much.